Ten Hag, my friend, time is up. Now you got to show me what have what is your playstyle, what is your vision, what is your motto of bringing young players through. What has that brought you now? Because you were telling us to be patient. Now we don't know what we're talking about. That we can brush a few results under the carpet. Like the Spurs game never happened. We lost 3-0, but we got a red card, and after that, everything disintegrated. Even though when Bruno Fernandes was on the pitch, we were playing even worse. But let's ignore all that and come back to this game for now. West Ham 2, Man United 1. How did we lose this? 92nd minute penalty. Now, before we go into clowning Ten Hag, let's get the facts straight first. The penalty that was given to West Ham was not a penalty. De Ligt barely touched him, and it was a dive by Danny Ings. Now that that's out of the way, we shouldn't have probably lost based on that. But on the balance of play, yes, we created chances. But does that mean we deserve to win? Hell no. Why? Because we missed too many big chances. You miss too many big chances, guess what? You deserve to be punished. On a certain level, you need to be converting your chances. You don't convert those chances, you're going to get punished. We've scored 8 goals this season. We've scored 8 goals in 9 games. 3 came against Southampton. 1 came against Fulham in a win. And 2 goals against Brentford last week. So the other goals essentially came in losses, and that's the idea. So most of our goals essentially came in just 2 games. Southampton away first, and now Brentford at home last week. You're telling me after 9 games, we have 8 goals scored, and it's just fine. Why? Because Ten Hagers will say, we had so many injuries. You can't blame Ten Hag because he had to play Mazraoui as the attacking midfielder against Fenerbahce, because that's how it was. Because this manager is very unlucky, because he's given all the wrong circumstances. How is he supposed to perform? Very interesting argument. Let's think about the El Clasico game that happened yesterday. I'm pretty sure you all know what happened in that game. Real Madrid were beaten 4-0 at the Bernabeu by Barcelona. Why do I point this game out? Well, because you might want to look at who started for Barcelona. So you had Balde at left back and you had Fermin Lopez as the cam. Now both of these players are just 21. Yamal and Kubarsi, 17 years old. Casado is 19 if I'm not wrong. And you still have Pedri who's around 22 or 23 and Gavi who's 20. And these are the core players of Barcelona. There's also Marc Bernal who broke through, but he suffered an ACL injury, so he hasn't been playing. But otherwise, he was playing, and he is also a teenager. So you're telling me Hansi Flick could take a squad of Barcelona players who were looking lost last season into now becoming the best team in the world. Yes, they are the best team in the world at this moment in time. They are. With a bunch of kids. And our manager here says that young players need to step up. Now you have to think, yes, quality is one thing. But don't you think it's within your hands to manage how each and every individual plays? Can't you set up a system that brings the best out of each player? And the best case I'll bring it back to is Aston Villa in 2022. Why do I say this? Do you guys remember how bad Aston Villa was under Steven Gerrard? I don't think you guys do, because if you did, you'd know that squad was very near to the relegation zone. In fact, I think they might have been in the relegation zone when they played us at Villa Park and they beat us under Unai Emery's first game. So a squad that was in the relegation zone in 2022 is essentially near the top 3 of the Champions League table in 2024. The top 3 of the Champions League table in 2024. So just based off evidence that you can see in Unai Emery's team, in Hansi Flick's team, and people will bash Kompany's team, but even Kompany's team has a style of play. You pick these 3 teams. How long did each of these managers have to really implement style into the team? Not long, but you can see patterns. What is the difference with our manager here and those managers? Is that this manager, our manager, Eric Ten Hag, does not know what he's doing. He's lost. But this loss, it just gives me a feeling. This loss could have done it. I think this loss is a big one. Why do I say this? Because it's West Ham. West Ham struggled against every single big team that they played this season. Just last week, Spurs won 4-1 at home to this same West Ham. Chelsea won 3-0 at the London Stadium. Aston Villa on opening day won 2-1. If we are supposed to compete with these teams, we should be replicating results. In fact, we should be actually bettering all these results against each of these teams. But for some reason, our board has still not acted. And this is why I'm very, 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 very skeptical about this board anyways. However, now that they bought the club, there's not much we can do. All we can hope for is that they have the same standards as us. But based on what I've seen so far, they do not at all. Because yes, they are revamping the system. But guess what? You see this football every single week. You see it once or twice a week. And sometimes you guys are at the stadium as well. And you still don't see that this is not working. There is no way this can work. Because this guy, this manager is living off bringing up Kobe and Garnacho through the academy setup. And guess what? This would have happened anyways. Garnacho was already en route to get into the first team. And Kobe is Kobe. And even in academy football, he was a league above everybody else. So they were coming in anyways. Who else has he introduced into the team that has revolutionized the team? You can't think of many, can you? And even if he did bring somebody in, how well did they integrate into the team? And how useful were they into the team? And how often did he run them down to the ground? Especially if you think about players like Lisandro Martinez initially, Kobe now. And these players just don't get a rest. They have to keep playing because otherwise this manager knows he is screwed. And the funniest part of this entire game that I saw was when he needed a goal, when West Ham scored, who were the players that this manager was depending on? Ahmad, and he brought on Zirkzee. So, for all the shit that everybody gives Zirkzee, even the manager understands that Rasmus Højlund himself is not enough all the time. And he had to bring on Zirkzee. Zirkzee had an impact. He got the assist as well. And he was generally a nuisance in the box. Ahmad creating chance after chance after chance. Even for the goal that we scored, it was Ahmad's ball through to Dalot and then Dalot back into Zirkzee. Zirkzee to Casemiro and Casemiro scored. Eric Ten Hag, what do you look for? Why is it that Garnacho keeps starting again and again and again, even though he has these poor performances? Let's talk about that for a second. What was Garnacho's performance today? This is what I talk about. This is the kind of player I can't stand. Why? It's because he tries to show that he has a big impact on the game. And how does he do that? He takes the ball in his stride and he tries to run at defenses. But if you notice what Garnacho does more often than not, he gets the ball, he tries to dash past somebody. He sees that he's not able to do anything, turns around, passes it back. Now he hasn't lost the ball technically. And people will say Garnacho doesn't lose the ball. Why? Because he's not risk-taking. And then he realizes he can't really dribble because all he can do is just do the dash dribble and then he's pretty much useless. And once he's done that part, then what? It's gone, right? That's all. And also, I've been calling him out since the start of the season. Diogo Dalot, please get out of my club. Honestly. I've never seen him as the option that we need to carry forward with because I always felt we need an option better than him. What does Dalot offer that, let's say, Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't offer, that Ben White doesn't offer, that Trippier doesn't offer? In fact, what is his best quality? That is one thing I'd like to ask you. Is it his give and goes? Well, that's all I can think about. Because people say he's sound on the ball. What does being sound on the ball give you anyways? You have to have another element to you. Is his crossing good as a fullback? No. Is Is his defending good as a fullback? No, because he gets caught out at the far post so often. Is his finishing good? Well, we have evidence from today that it's not pretty good. That he had an open goal. He took a good first touch, past the keeper. Now you're staring at an open goal and you blast it wide. So, somebody, you guys can tell me, one of you can tell me in the comments what exactly Dalot does. That shows me that he is not only a Premier League level fullback, the elite level fullback. Somebody that Real Madrid would... No. Somebody that, let's say now, Barcelona would welcome in their team happily. What is it that he's going to offer any of these teams that is so distinct from other players who are already there? And in fact, even players who are already performing, how is he on that level? Please comment down below. And all this after a weak performance from West Ham themselves. Because in the first half, the number of times we got through them with a ball from either Bruno Fernandes or Casemiro into Garnacho, it was way too easy. We were just carving them open again and again and again. And even with this weak defense, we still couldn't score. So now you see the flaw. And so you can probably think, okay, today was a finishing problem. But no, it's not a finishing problem, because yes, people would say you're on goal, you should score, right? That's how it works. But no, it all comes from the structure. If the structure is not right from the back all the way to the top, the fluency is not created. And it's only once that fluidity or fluency or whatever, once that is incorporated into the team, that is when you're going to see a change. Till then, you don't see any changes. So, the point is, Ten Hag out again. But this could be the last time that I say this. I just have a weird feeling that this game is going to finish him. And end of the day, West Ham 2, Man United 1. West Ham didn't deserve the win. We did not deserve a draw or a win. So I guess, in a way, in a funny way, turned out to be the right result. Now, next up, we have Leicester in the Carabao Cup. And then we have Chelsea at Old Trafford in the league. Now, that's going to be an interesting one. Chelsea are looking good. Cole Palmer is looking good. And it's going to be fun next weekend. So, see you guys in the next one. And until then, stay safe.